Congratulations to both of you on the film. It really is a awesome movie that is both action-packed, thrilling, and dramatic, and it really is enjoyable to watch. So congrats to both of you.
Thank you very much.
So let me start by asking, Lana, I believe that I read, were you once in the Navy?
No, no,
Okay.
my brother's in the Navy.
Your brother's in the Navy.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's
And-
actually currently stationed in Japan right now.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank
Him.
you and your brother for his service. Did you talk to him at all, as you were preparing for the role?
Honestly, not really. I think I didn't talk to him because I don't know why. I talked to like my uncle who's a general. I talked to other family members who are in the military. But for my brother, I didn't really talk to him about it. I don't really know why. I think maybe it came from this sense of like I really so badly wanted to do him justice, and I felt like just nervous to even bring it up. So I actually didn't really talk to him about it, but I will say like he doesn't often watch a lot of my work, and I do think that this might be one of the first movies that he watches of mine. So that's great. Well, oh my God, I hope he likes it. I guess we'll find out soon.
He was like, we'll find out.
Yeah.
So are you nervous about that? I feel like that's like a big thing.
I'm really, really nervous. I'm really, really genuinely, honest to God, nervous. Like I'm going to throw up. I just like I really did want to do this movie for a huge part because of him, and my heart will break if he says that, like I didn't do it right, because we really tried on this film to honor the men and the women that serve, and we tried so hard to make it realistic. And I think if he were to tell me that it wasn't, that would be
Shut up.
that would be a real bummer.
Yeah. Is that what attracted you to the movie?
Yeah, definitely the familial ties. I know that Chase comes from a military family as well, but also the opportunity to show a different side of myself as an artist. I feel like I've been doing rom-coms for so long, and I love doing them, but I know that there's more in me, and I really wanted the opportunity to show that, and so hopefully that came through.
I think it did.
Thank you.
How about for you, Chase? What attracted you to the role of Brockman?
Yeah, I think it's everybody has that friend that you look at and you say, you could just be doing so much more with your life.
Wow, yes.
And the fact that there was a character that I felt that immediately jump off the page felt like a story and a character that I wanted to bring to life. And then when Lana jumped on board, it just felt like a really cool opportunity because I knew that we had a similar want to flex that muscle in different areas of our careers. So I knew that she had like a hunger to be like, all right, hold my beer, like let's do something different.
Yeah.
And I was in the same space. So I think just that, and then my grandfather and my grandfather served, and I have friends who are in the military, and I just wanted to do a different version of a war film that felt a little more character focused, and this really hit home for me.
I love that. And one of the things that I love about the film is, it's very raw in the fact that Brockman, all the characters, but Brockman, I think in particular, I feel like he is a leader, but he needs to get there.
Right.
It's kind of like a flaws and all sort of thing, which is kind of all of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, he is the modern tech soldier. He is somebody who sits at a desk 9 to 5 and analyzes data and assesses situations, and that's what he does. He's been to basic like everybody else, but just like with Selby, these characters haven't been in the
Faced with
field.
combat.
Right, there's no combat experience. So when you're faced with adversity, what happens? Do you go instinctually into that training that they all have? And there's something really interesting about the human experience when fight or flight comes in.
Yes.
And what happens there. And so watching him shift from, like you hear, wanting to go to Silicon Valley and have a 7-figure contract into, becoming a leader and taking on responsibility was a fun role to kind of tackle.
Yeah.
How about for you, Lana?
I think it's kind of like adapt or die, and I think I think what you said about like fight or flight or freeze, that is so true, and I hope that audiences will come out of the theater and be like empowered that like they, no matter what can survive. If you want it, you can survive. You just you adapt.
Right.
Period. I mean, we're seeing that, you know, all over the world, but it's like there are normal people put in extraordinary circumstances, and you have to adapt and you have to keep going, and you are strong enough to do that. And I mean, even with the LA wildfires, like seeing the community come together and being like, okay, we're gonna do this. Like, we're going to support each other. We're gonna get through this devastating time. Like, that's in all of us, even if we don't necessarily think that, you know. And I think that's empowering and very and a great message.
Yeah, and you know, kind of along those lines, now that I think about it, I love you know, big giant superhero movies as much as the next person, but Valiant One really kind of looks at our everyday superheroes, if you will. And you know, it's interesting to me because, as Chase was saying, you know, in many ways you're sitting at a desk, and what a hero may look like traditionally to somebody might not look like that to what others think, but still they're there doing it, you know, in support of the mission, which is to keep us safe, or you know, whatever that may be. So you know, the film really does kind of take a peek under that curtain, if you will, in both ways.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. And Chase, you've spoken about having imposter syndrome before, which I know I've struggled with myself. As you have been establishing a career as an actor, have you found that, you know, you're leading a film with Lana right now, talking, you know, doing a press junket for it. Does that give you more comfortability, or is that something that you think is still a struggle?
You know, I think my goal is just, at my core, I just want to tell great stories with great people and continue to collaborate in this space. And I think whenever you put yourself out there, especially in the artist space, it's vulnerable and you're naked often. And there's nothing not scary about that. And I think the beauty of it is finding that little switch in your brain that gives you the opportunity to just push forward and give the performances that you're really proud of. And so I think I'll never not have imposter syndrome, and I think I allow myself to be at peace with that. But ultimately for me, you know, like, I'm just very fortunate that people like Lana want to do films with me, and they believe in my art in the same ways that I've believed in hers and will continue to believe in hers. And I think that's just where I'm at, and it's just the next right thing. You know, I can't get too far ahead or look too far back, because none of it matters as much as this moment in time right now.
That's beautiful. And I don't know if either of you have ever heard of the book, The Power of Vulnerability by Brene Brown, but I'm trying to like make that my Bible, because, you know,
It's a great
as you
read.
said, being vulnerable, putting your art out there, or telling somebody how you really feel is scary, you know, and there's a whole world, it seems, sometimes that is out there ready to judge you whenever you do take that step and be vulnerable. So I applaud you both for speaking about it now and being brave enough to share your story, because it helps in my opinion, it helps so many other people that are like, wait a second, I feel that too. And Chase is saying that, so it's okay for me to say that, you know. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Similarly, Lana, you know, is that something you struggle with too, as you and Chase headline Valiant One?
To be frank, I have a really strong belief in myself. I think it was the way that I was raised, but my dad has a quote where he says, "Greatness is coming." And he said that to me since I was a baby. And I was raised to be proud of who I am. I was raised to be like confident and smart. I think of course there are days where I'm like, oh my God, like I really, really, really like, I'm insecure and I'm nervous about this, that, and the other thing. But in terms of my work, like I actually do have a sense that like, I love to act, period. This is my favorite thing to do. Like acting is all that I wanna do. And therefore I just want to step into it. Like I do have this kind of, maybe it's a delusional sense of confidence, but I think so far it's working out.
Well, I was just gonna say, not to cut you off, like you are so, like, it was really fun to watch, and it really encouraged me. Like, you are instinctually so good at this craft, and you are so like she comes to set, and it is true. Like it was really mind blowing to watch. Like instinctually, you're right on the nose, and if it's not that, the way that you can adjust and adapt, and her emotional range in this film is absolutely bananas. And I'm super excited for you as a co-star, as a friend, for people to see this performance, because even watching it last night, I was like, oh my God, like I'm so emotional watching the way that you connect with Diana, who plays Minna, and it's just cool to see people that you care about and have shared the screen with get an opportunity to flex the muscle in a way that maybe the world hasn't seen, and to be able to take confidence and power in that is so badass.
I just love what we get to do. It's the best, and I just never want it to go away.
I totally agree with you.
Well, I will say, as a viewer and as a movie lover, and it is a joy to watch both of you. However, both of you get there, you're getting there, and you're delivering for audiences like me. And it's so important, in my opinion, for storytellers, whether it's actors or creators or journalists or whatever it is, to continue to tell their stories of people and humanity and all of that. And I can't wait for everybody to see Valiant One. Thank you, Lana. Thank you, Chase. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for supporting the film, man. We appreciate it.
Of course. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too.